Picture this. Kauai, Hawaii. The ocean glistens under the golden morning sun, waves crash in rhythm like a heartbeat, and a 13-year-old girl named Bethany Hamilton is already in the water, chasing the dream she was born with. She's young, fierce, and free, one of those rare souls who seem molded by the sea itself. Her board cuts through the water with ease, her hair wet with salt, her smile wide with purpose. Surfing wasn't just her passion. It was her life, her identity, her heartbeat. And then came the day that changed everything. October 31st, 2003, the sun still rose, the ocean still shimmered, but that morning would carve her name into history. Bethany paddled out with her best friend, the waves calm, the sky clear, and then, in a heartbeat, it happened. A 14-foot tiger shark struck her left arm, biting through it just below the shoulder. 1 second, she was floating peacefully. The next, she was fighting for her life as the sea turned red around her. But here's where her story becomes extraordinary. Instead of panic, instead of screaming, instead of giving up, she prayed. She whispered, "God, help me get to the shore," as she balanced herself with one arm, bleeding, drifting, clinging to life itself. And somehow, she made it. Her friend's father pulled her to safety, used a surfboard leash to stop the bleeding, and they rushed her to the hospital. She lost 60% of her blood that morning, her heart barely strong enough to beat. Most people wouldn't have survived, but Bethany did. When she woke up, she was missing an arm, but not her spirit. She said later, "I don't need easy, I just need possible." And that single line, simple, powerful, fearless, became the foundation of her entire life. Doctors said she might never surf again. Family and friends braced for the heartbreak that seemed inevitable. But within weeks, not months, Bethany was back in the ocean, learning how to balance on her board with one arm, relearning what came naturally, falling over and over, swallowed by waves that didn't care about her loss. And every time she fell, she got back up. She redesigned her surfboard, used a handle for grip, trained her muscles, and strengthened her core until her movements were flawless again. And then, she returned to competition, not as a charity story, not as a symbol, but as a serious contender. And she won. Bethany's courage didn't just inspire Hawaii, it inspired the world. She became the living proof that your greatest loss can lead to your greatest victory. Hollywood made a film about her, SoulSurfer, but even that couldn't capture the real power of her spirit, because the truth is, Bethany's comeback wasn't about fame or attention, it was about faith. She said, "I could either give up and let the shark win, or trust that God had a bigger plan for me." And that's where this story becomes a mirror, for you, for me, for everyone listening, because we all have sharks in our lives. They just don't swim in water. Your shark might be fear, self-doubt, poverty, failure, heartbreak, or loss. And like Bethany, you have two choices. You can let it devour your purpose, or you can rise from the blood and the pain and paddle forward anyway. Bethany's financial life? She didn't inherit millions, she didn't build a tech empire, she built her wealth through her purpose, through sponsorships, books, films, and her unstoppable brand of faith-driven courage. She lives a comfortable life, but more importantly, a meaningful one. She uses her success to empower others, to remind the world that strength is not about perfection, it's about perseverance. Her attributes, faith, discipline, resilience, focus, self-belief, gratitude, make her story a living lesson in self-development. She trained her body to adapt, but trained her mind to believe, and that is the difference between people who quit and people who rise. Bethany Hamilton didn't just get back on the board, she redefined what it means to fight back. Her message is simple yet timeless. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. So here's the truth. You may never face a shark, but you will face life's waves. Some will knock you down, some will hurt, some will steal your balance, but the choice to get up will always be yours. If Bethany Hamilton, a 13-year-old girl who lost her arm, can face the same ocean that almost killed her and still rise to become one of the world's most respected surfers, then your excuses are meaningless. Your fears are temporary. Your potential is permanent, so stop doubting, stop hesitating, stop waiting for perfect conditions, because the ocean will never be calm enough for the unprepared. Jump in, fight your waves, and ride your storm, because victory only comes to those who dare to paddle again. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that pain can either break you or build you, then subscribe, because every story here is proof that the strongest people aren't those who never fall, but those who refuse to stay down.